In DC, for DC. DC Radio, 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? How are you today? How are you today? This is a great time here on Choppin It Up with Chook and on DC Radio. First of all, shout out to all of my DC Radio family, Shane and Chaz and Mr. Myrick and everyone who helps this happen each and every time we are on this platform. Y'all, I'm really excited today because today I have one of my brothers from another mother in the studio.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, it is, I've been saying DC, DMV's own. Listen, when you all hear about the history and stuff about this gentleman here, Mr. Lorenzo Miller. What up, brother?
What's up, baby? What's up, baby? How you doing, man?
Y'all can't see it if you're listening to it, but look, this here is like a family reunion,
Right?
In this room. So first and foremost, so I say it's always fun, like looking up my friends and family and see what like online has for them. And Lorenzo Miller, better known to his friends as Zoe and family as Zoe, was born in Washington D.C.
But let me say something, man.
Yes.
Before you get started.
Uh-huh.
I was not known as Zoe
Really?
until you came around.
Really?
You didn't know that you, Biscuit,
Yeah.
y'all started calling me Zoe, and I was like, okay.
Really?
And it stuck. You didn't know that, so so you instrumental to calling me Zoe. I just was calling Lorenzo.
Let's see.
So you didn't know that, but I thought I would share that with
Listen,
you.
I learned something today.
There you go.
Well, Zoe, born in Washington, D.C.,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
has become a well-known entertainer in this area for over 25 years of experience. Lorenzo, as you know, on his birth certificate, it was his government name, began his singing career in the church choir as the lead vocalist. He has developed his smooth R&B and jazz vocals with influences from the likes of Donny Hathaway, Luther Vandross, and Jeffrey Osborne, with a proven track record of pleasing audiences. So listen, I'm about to tell you all, because this cat here, I listen, I give the credit to, I remember, even before we'll talk about how we met, but dude, some of the people who I met through you that have enabled me to be working and stuff now. I remember the first time I met Spur of the Moment.
There you go.
Was with you, and first time I met the amazing African American chef Timothy Dean. Was through you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was one day. So let's go back. Let's go back.
There you go.
Let's go back. So tell us a little bit out of the words out of your mouth of how you got here and a little bit backdrop of Mr. Miller.
Yeah, well, like back in the day, I used to do singing. I didn't really sing out that much. I used to sing around, and then I started singing in my mom's church and was singing there. And then I met some people who were musicians, and I used to go down, remember, where used to be called El Torritos, down at the waterfront. Yeah. I used to go down there and give a shout out to my boy Kenny Dickinson.
Yes, indeed.
For letting me come in and sit in with them. And that's how I got all transpired of me singing out.
Really?
I was saying, okay, I'll go down there, and they had their little thing, Collaboration. That was the name of the group.
Yep.
And I started singing with them, coming and sitting in with them. And then it just trickled down to, I ran into Wayne Bruce one day.
Wow.
Down there. He said, man, we play up at this place up in Silver Spring. I was like, okay. He said, come through. So I started going there.
Was it Silver Shadows back
Silver
then?
Shadows. It didn't change the name over to Bailey's.
Yeah, we going back.
Way back. Yeah, so that's how I got started. And then, I had some friends that was actually, let me go back a little bit. I have a friend that used to have me come in. He was a basketball dude.
Gotcha.
But then I found out he played drums. I used to come in, and he was playing with, name is Jay Nichols, and then he played with Walter Cosby.
Yes.
Back in the day, Stephen Bundy, people like that, and Jonathan Davis.
Yeah.
We used to do stuff around town.
Right.
And then we kind of like trickled into that El Torritos thing.
Wow, dude.
And then it just transferred. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to start my own thing. And then I was going around just seeing people sing and then doing their thing. And then I just started trickling and doing the clubs and stuff like that.
Wow, and the thing about it is everywhere we go, so some of these names of these places that we're naming right now, this is absolute DMV history.
Yes, sir.
Because, like I said, these were some of the spots back in the day that if you were wanting to know anything about music, you just go through some of these places and you will run into people like you said, like Wayne Bruce, and the list of people was absolutely amazing. So then I know it was some years, I can't even remember what years. I think we're going back to maybe 2000, at least 2000.
I think
it's longer than that.
Longer than that.
Yeah, it's longer than that. I'm thinking about when we did your album.
Oh, that was before 2000.
Exactly.
That was before 2000, man. You know, because I was, you know, I don't think. Well, a little bit after that, you know, I think I was working over at the Census Bureau.
Yep, good government job.
Yep,
I remember that. Yes, indeed.
Good government job. We had shows during the day. I was like, man, I could be there.
Yeah.
They be like, how you getting out of work?
Exactly.
I just made it happen. You
That's
know what I'm saying?
right. He sure would.
Yep.
So listen, so y'all, this is like, of course, this platform is all the way unscripted. It's so amazing when, like I said, friends and family of, you know, local, nationally, internationally, when we have a chance to even be in the same room, because everyone's schedules are so crazy now. Some people have like relocated. So it's always just a happy feeling to have like family like in the room. So bringing it up to let's say late 90s, early 2000s, I remember how we met. I think you had a gig or something. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, someone, because I think I started off was I playing keys with you, or?
Man, that's a story within itself.
I'm like, I know.
I thought he was a keyboard player when I first met him.
Right.
Then one time he started playing, and then he was like, I said, man, I don't know what a drummer is, man. He said, man, tell you what, I'll get a keyboard player, and I'll play drums.
Right, sure.
Then when something else comes down, he said, I'll get a guitar player, and I'll play keys.
Yeah.
He went all around. He was part of musicians of all the instruments that was in the band at the time. And then one time he said, man, you know, give me a mic and I'll sing too.
Yep. But you know what? But that time frame is how we built an amazing lifelong communication and relationship.
Yes, sir.
Because, you know, when that chemistry and stuff is built on stage and we all are, we PYP, you play your position.
That's right.
You know. So then there was a point in time that I reached out to Zoe, and I was like, well, man, you know, I said, we've got a studio, right, less than 5 minutes from where you work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And there would be some days like, Zoe, you would come over during your lunch break. You know what I'm saying?
But even before that, at times, you know, before you even, you know, came to me and said you got a studio, I was talking to him. I said, man, some guy was talking to me, Mr. Stan Cooper.
Yes,
was talking to me. He was like,
indeed.
man, you need to just record it. I was like, yeah, I can't find him. He said, you got one of the best dudes right there in your band.
Oh, man.
And I was like, who? He said, Chooky.
Shout out to Big Brother Stan Cooper.
He was doing all that. I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't even know he was doing all that stuff. He was doing, you know, back in the day, he was doing stuff with Gideon. Back in the day, you know, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Then he came to me before I came to him. He said, man, the studio right here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's amazing how the first project got done. I mean, we can talk a little bit if we want to. He said that, like, I never was known as a writer at all.
Gotcha.
I never wrote any songs before in my life. I was like, okay. I tried it years ago and then came out like Mary Had a Little Lamb or something like that, you know, but
I got you.
It worked out. So it was so amazing how one person can unlock your abilities to do stuff like that.
Gotcha.
You know, we was in their studio and he just started playing music and we was vibing.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, it was like 3 or 4 songs
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I was sitting there writing. I said, I can do this.
Yeah, and there was literally times. So I remember vividly that you would call, like from your desk or whatever you had at work.
Let's talk about that.
You know what I'm saying? And you'd be like, "Yo, I got this idea," and literally over the phone. Over the phone, he would like give us the, like, you know, this melody or like these words. And I was thinking about this, and I was like, okay, cool. I said, give me a call when you get off work.
There you go.
And lo and behold,
10 minutes later, song was done.
All the way done. Shout out to Vaughn, Mr. Higgs, Higginbotham, and Chris Biscuit Bynum. That was the original, that trio right there. Y'all know us as why I explain it and all that stuff. But we used to put some hours in to just taking ideas that other people would give to us, and that's how the production started. And that was so, that creative element is what helped to propel us today. And then, with you, Zoe, we got so many things to talk about, brother, because you like an entrepreneur now with the sound and all that stuff.
I'll tell you how that started.
You're doing production, you know what I'm saying? Everything. I'm just like, okay. So listen, off the break, what has been some of your inspiration, like, behind what you do? Because you are one of the few people that have seen some of the ups and downs of the inner DC workings of when it comes to music.
Right.
So what has been like your inspiration to like move and pass through that and continue to do what you do today?
But you know what is inspiring to me is how I could see somebody at a certain level and they doing their thing.
Gotcha.
And they blazing it out. And then I see them fall. I see them fall to the point I'm looking at them and say, damn, what you gonna do now? And then they still grind.
Yeah.
And bring their thing back up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is more inspiring to me than anything, man. Anything, I don't care how talented you are or how much, notoriety you have. But if I see you fall and then you get back up and you bring your thing back to the level it's supposed to be, man, that is more inspiring than anything in the world, man.
Wow.
Anything in the world, man. And I was going to tell you, man, most people think that what inspires them and who inspires them is somebody who's been there before them. But a lot of times there's younger cats, man.
Yes.
Like you was inspiring, you, Vaughn, and Chris was like, that was mind-blowing to me.
Gotcha.
Because all of the guys I came up and I was following before were younger, older guys, and I would look at God. And then I said, okay, it can't get no better than that. And then I see another young cat like yourself, and your Vaughn wasn't even playing keyboard at the time.
Exactly, yeah.
And one of the songs that, we're going to play was inspired by, we kind of recorded that, like, impromptu. We was kind of, like, singing that, and he was playing it, and we recorded right down, and we just left it. Like, we left it the way it was, and he was like, wow. And he was just following me. And I didn't watch his career, watch your career, man, and it's crazy.
And that's important. Like you said, the same thing that inspired you is where like we get inspiration now, because we would talk about some things, and y'all heard some of these years we talk about early 2000s, late 1990s, which means well, we're trying to stay on point. That's literally over 20 years ago.
20 years, yeah.
So there's a lot of like young musicians and entertainers and singers and artists out here now that I even get so much inspiration from. And that's why, like I said, this platform is so important, because then we open up how our journeys can help somebody else.
Right.
And then in the same token, we also have to be open enough, because there's some younger people now that didn't have, like even like this radio show, like DC Radio, and you can go online and hear it. It's an app where you can hear it and be exposed to, certain things like from your handset, from your smartphone. So, let's talk about that. Let's introduce that song. Zoe, you got a song entitled "Let Go," and this is one of the ones. So. Yeah, give us a little bit more backdrop to that, and then I want y'all to hear this.
Okay, well, like I was saying, this song was basically was inspired with the human factor.
Gotcha.
It was like, okay, or the relationship factor, put it that way. And it was like, you see somebody going through something, and then they stay in that. But sometimes you need to let them things go to be able to move to the next plateau.
That's right.
So. But the thing is, I wrote it with that factor, but in mind, it's a whole lot of things that you can take this song on and say, okay, I need to let go of that job.
That's right.
I need to let go of that person who's just hanging your friends.
That's right.
Sometimes you need to let go of family.
Y'all better listen. Hashtag. Hashtag let go.
Some people need to let go of their family.
Yeah.
And some people need to let go of that church.
Yeah.
And you think that that's where you need to be, and sometimes you need to just move on and find where you need to be.
Absolutely. That's very important. And y'all are listening right here on Choppin' It Up with Chook. This is the song "Let Go" by Lorenzo Miller.
Yeah.
Here on DC Radio.
What's up?
The things he do, you know you don't deserve it. The way he treats you, he's not the one to spend your life with. He's hurting you, even though it doesn't show. I'm only telling you the things you have to know. That you got too much wrong and let go, can't let go. All the one thing that hurts you the most. Pack your bags, girl, and leave here today. Don't look back, girl, everything will be okay. You are a star, sailing high above the earth. Girl, that's what you are. He doesn't know your worth. Go ahead and cry. It's okay to shed a tear. It's gonna be alright, yeah, as long as you hear that you got to be strong and let go. All the one thing that hurts you the most. Pack your bags, girl, and leave here today. Don't look back, girl, everything will be okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. So you got to be strong and let go. No, the one thing that hurts you the most. Yeah, yeah. Pack your bags, girl, leave here today. Oh, don't look back, girl, everything will be okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Choppin' It Up with Chook. I got Lorenzo Miller in the studio, and that was the song Let Go. Brother, you just brought that whole thing to life.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
I like the little pulse on that and everything. Yes, indeed. So, question. So, what do you like about, or what is your favorite thing about being an artist in DC, the DMV?
Being an artist in DMV. To be honest, man, I don't know. This is what happened as being an artist, because I always try to surround myself with bad musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And using me and using my shows as a platform for the next person to be able to get, because there's a lot of musicians, they probably won't admit it, but
Gotcha.
they kind of like, people came to see us to hear who I have playing with me.
Gotcha.
You know, there are some people who play with me, and now they doing well around the city and doing well and beyond. Yeah. Because they know, say, hey, man, we're going to go check out Zoe, see who he got playing with him tonight. Even if they wasn't coming in to hear my voice, they was coming in to hear the voice of everybody else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
And it became
Well, all of the shows that you always have, brother, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but you always have a great following, like your birthday events. You can put some stuff out at the drop of a hat as in terms of, I'm going to be such and such a place. Yeah. And then I've seen over the past couple of years how your demographic has started to grow. So it's now not just DC or the DMV. Now and Baltimore is a part of the DMV, but we know that Baltimore also has their own following and everything. And I've seen you cross over into that. So my hat goes off to you, brother. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The more we have fans and all that stuff, that's a big thing.
Yes, sir.
And so you seeing how things operate in the DMV and DC. What would you say is your least favorite thing about having to do the grind and be the artist in DC and then the DMV? What to you don't you like about that part?
Well, it's. I know that the part I don't like is probably the nature of the beast when it comes into this is that the disconnect between the artist, the promoter, the venue owner.
Y'all listen.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I told y'all, I hope you have your notepads out because that's what this show is for. It helps to strengthen our rules of engagement. And that's very, very important. Say that again, Zoe. The disconnect between the artist,
the venue,
the promoter. Yep.
And all that, the business owner, all of that stuff, the disconnect. And I get it. I get it, when they say, okay, we need to, some people need to pay less to get more. I mean, because you're a businessman, it's just like if they say, for instance, you have a car. You want to buy a car. You see this guy got it for $20,000.
Right.
And this dude over here got it for $18,000.
Right.
And you say, okay.
Yeah. How did that happen?
Yeah. Right. So you have to, as a business owner, you got to say, okay, I think I'm going to go over here, but it may not be, that engine may be messed up over there.
Exactly.
But you already know what this engine can do.
That's right.
So they'll try to go over there and say, okay, boom, but.
Well, you've seen a lot of stuff here, so how do you suggest that we close that gap? You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just people need to hear what it is, hear from the artist, hear from the promoter's perspective. So from your perspective.
Like a while ago, I was trying to come together, and we as musicians and we as people who have bands and stuff need to form an alliance. And then because you have these artists, it's a whole lot of bands and a whole lot of artists in this area,
Right.
So some people think that they can say, okay, I come in there for $2 instead of 10.
Right.
Just to get my foot in the door.
Right.
But a lot of times when you go that $2, that's where you're gonna be stuck.
Yeah.
And then if you talk and say, okay, I don't want to pay this, say I'm not gonna accept this $2 no more. They have 13 other bands that gonna come in there for $2.
Right.
And then and a lot of times they, I just had a conversation with a promoter the other day, and he said, well, I'm not really into the talent thing. He said, it's not about talent with me. He said, it's about me filling this place up.
Filling the seats.
Filling the seat up. He said, you look at it and say, oh, man, that dude blazing. Oh, man, you need to get him. He said, I might get this dude to just sing 2 notes the whole show, but he can pack the room.
Got it.
It's a catch-22 with it, but there's, like I said, there's that disconnect between, but you do have that one promoter and that one venue owner. He gonna be like, I'm only bringing the best up in here.
Right.
And I commend, I've been playing I'm gonna be playing tomorrow at Sobeys Restaurant Lounge. I've been there for like almost 2 years now. I do that every third Friday. He knows what's happening. He puts some of the best people over there.
Got it.
So
Got it. So y'all can already get a heads up. So that's going to be tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
At Sobeys in Greenbelt. The ZME, the Zoe Miller Experience. And I'm going to be with Brother Zoe tomorrow.
Right. That's right.
The schedule's been crazy.
That's right.
But he hit me up early this week, and I was like, you know what? Yes, indeed. I'm going to be there. So another thing, we talked earlier about like some of the venues. And, actually we were talking even before the show started, of like having a hub where everybody can come to because they've been shutting down a lot of the musical venues and stuff like that, in the DMV. So what are some of like the clubs that you like? Well, first of all, from back in the day to now, what was like your favorite, some of your favorite clubs?
like back in the day, you know, it used to be like Tacoma Station, and like we already mentioned, you know, the El Torritos, things like that, and then it turned over to Fox Trap, and then it turned over to what was it? What was the last name it was? Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. Well, it was down on Water Street.
Yeah.
You know, those are places, man, was kind of mecca places for because they had to set up. That's when the people would start. They say, okay, we're going to have these bands come in. We're going to have sound in here ready for them.
Right.
So we would go in there and do that. And today, you know, we had like I said, you had the Old Town Inn. You know, lo and behold, the Half Note is going to be going away. We had that, you know. And, you know, they have a bunch of places now around the DMV, you know, like Waldorf is upcoming. Right. You know. They have a Social 228. I've been doing some stuff out there.
Gotcha.
Small, little venue out there. I kind of like the little small, intimate venues too. You know, up close and personal. You know,
and then they can hear you, and then your style of music and the way you sing is so engaging. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, you know, there's many times you walk off the stage and go out in the
audience.
Sing, you sing straight to the people.
Right.
And that's the part that really catches people in. I got some surprises, some songs that I pulled up, from some years ago. But, you know, when things, they said when you're creating great music, it stands the test of time. So, you know, it's stuff like that you know, we want to continue to do. You've always been, like I said, I've been seeing you, you've been diversifying lately. You still continue to sing and, you know, do that. But then I've also seen, you know, you stepped into your entrepreneurial things in addition to production manager and things, you know. So tell us a little bit about that, brother.
Okay. How I ventured into that thing there. And we were playing at, it used to be, it was Bailey's at the time. We were playing there, and the guy had a sound system. He was up there doing sound for us and everything. I'm going to go ahead and put out there. Kenny Allen.
Oh, yeah. That's the
Kenny Allen, Spread the Moment.
Yeah, that's the homie.
He was providing sound for us, you know.
Right.
And I turned to him, I said, man, you just go ahead and sell me this thing, man.
Hey.
And he was like, he said, you know what? Let me think about that. He called me up and said, man, you know, I'm putting him out there. He said, I'm getting married, man. I need to have some extra cash.
Right.
So I went on and sold me this little small sound system, man.
Gotcha.
And then I bought it, and then we were playing around, and I would set up my sound and everything. And people came and said, man, your sound is so clean.
Yeah.
That was back in the analog days.
Right.
And he said, do you rent it out? I said, I can't.
Right.
So I went to somebody, I said, man, how much can I get for this? He said, man, you probably can charge a couple $100 for it. You know? So that's how my sound thing started.
Really?
You know, so when you're doing
you done gone from that to way bigger.
Yes. You know, so that's how the sound thing started out.
Got it.
You know, fast forward, you know, you get the bug. So you started doing the sound, and then you was like, okay, the latest and the greatest come out. So you say, oh, okay, I want this new speaker.
Yeah.
Then you go out and get that new speaker. Then next day you getting all new stuff. And stuff building up. And then, I can't even put my car in the garage no more. I got all this stuff in it.
Right.
So that's how I started, you know, and then it came on to now, you know, I have enough stuff to do big venues now.
I mean, brother, I was like, I've seen some of the venues that I've played at and some of the events I've played at. I was like, wow, man. I said, you know, I walk in and I said, woo. So this sound is killing. Then, you know, I walk closer to the stage. I was like, Zoe, what you doing here? I was like, man, I was like, good gracious, brother. You know, so I've been seeing you really, like I said, diversifying and all of that stuff with the sound. And then, like, even recently, you've been doing some production management and all that stuff and continuing to, you know, just stretch yourself in.
And that the thing about it, it's always about knowing people.
Absolutely.
Knowing people in the right position to be able to get you to the next point, you know.
Absolutely.
How I got into that, you know, production part, you know, is I got a call from my sisters, Miss Silva Logan Sharp.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
You know,
shout out, sis.
You know, I got a call from her, and she was like, somebody needs a sound guy. They're gonna be in town for like about 4 days up at Blues Alley. So I said, okay. I said, what are you talking about? She said, the legendary Najee.
Right.
I was like, Najee.
Right.
And she said, yeah. So I said, okay. Gave him a number, and, you know, called me up and said, man, we need you to, you know, heard you had a good ear, you know, engineer. So I said, okay. So I went up to Blues Alley, And at the time, they had an analog board at the time.
Yeah.
I had just got my brand new digital board.
Right.
I said, Najee, I said, I can't use that. I said, you need to. So he said, talk to the people. I put my digital board in there.
Right.
And I went on and, did a show. I did a couple of shows. So Najee looked at me and said, man, do you do bigger shows? Mm-hmm. I said, hey, man, I can do it.
Right.
Yeah. He said, I said, man, no problem. He said, all right, man, we'll give you a call. 2 weeks later, he called me up and said, hey, I have a big jazz concert in Jamaica.
Ooh.
I was like, okay.
Right.
And then, the guy who was doing the production time, he said, man, he called me up. He said, what's your ammunition? What console you want? I said, what do you got?
Right.
He said, well, you can get you a profile venue. Blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. I said, give me the profile. Like that. So he said, okay, get the profile. And I said, I got off the phone and said, profile. Never seen one before. Then I was like, another person. I said, I know people. Kevin Jackson.
Yes.
Is doing sound over at Mount Enoch.
Right.
They had a profile over there.
Got it.
Hey, man, I need to come over there. It was a week away from the show. I need to come over there and get on your profile. Mm-hmm. My man Danny said, all right, come on over.
That's it.
Set up a virtual sound check.
Wow.
For a whole week.
Really?
I'm good.
I know that's right, brother. I'm so proud of you, how you've taken, not only just the musical element, like we said, from singing and just the music entertainment business, period. And you said something a minute ago that's very, very important, and that is that the connections that we make and the relationships that we build. Mm-hmm. Number one, make sure that those relationships are on point, and you never burn bridges.
No.
Never burn bridges. Mm-mm. I learned something. This was a while back, even like in personal life. Some people use the term, a bridge over troubled water. Well, when you cross over to the other side, you don't burn that bridge because you don't know who else will need that bridge.
Right.
That might not be the bridge for me no more.
Nope.
But don't shoot down somebody else's hopes and dreams. And just the way that you have, have made that connection and continued those relationships. Mm-hmm. I was like, when we confirmed having you on the show today, I went back in the arsenal, brother. And I'm going back to, this has got to be 2002 at least. And there was a point in time, so after we worked on Lorenzo's album, we had a couple artists and all of that stuff. I was thinking about earlier, like everybody came to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? We was out in Vegas. We did some recording out in Las Vegas. Myself and Mr. Higgs and Biscuit, we were out there for about 10 months in 2002. Mm-hmm. And after we had finished that project, I said, man, we need to bring the family out.
Yep.
And we started working on stuff and collabing on stuff. And so we did a compilation album. And one of the songs that you did on that compilation album was entitled You Need Someone.
Wow.
And I was like, I listen, brother, it's like been a minute since I heard about it. I said, but it's great music. You know what I'm saying? So right here on Choppin' It Up with Chook, we are going back at least about 18 years.
Wow.
To the song we did entitled You Need Some Run, written by Lorenzo Miller, and you're listening to it here on Choppin' It Up with Chook on DC Radio.
That's what's up. Hey, Chook. Just hit record, man. I just want to just make it plain and simple. I just want this message to come across real easy. Because I want them to know. Yeah. You need someone that you can spend some time. Treat you like vintage wine. One you can't get enough of. Oh, yeah. Someone that you can grow with. Just chill and have some kids. Yes, I am falling in love.
You need someone to take interest in what you do. One who don't think of herself and straight up lie to you. You need someone that you can keep around. One that will be there when love cannot be found. You need someone that you can spend some time. Treat you like vintage wine. One you can't get enough of. Oh yeah. Someone that you can grow with. Just chill and have some kids. one that'll always have your back, one who don't run his mouth and tends to come off whack. He compliments you when you're looking good, shows you off when rolling through the hood, doing everything he knows he should to make it swing his way. Spend some time, treat you like vintage wine, one you can't get enough of. Oh yeah, girl, you know that these are open wide. I'll offer my heart, won't you come inside? I'll have what you need and so much more. All you gotta do is walk through the door. You need a man like me. You can spend some time, treat you like vintage wine, one you can't get enough of. Can't get enough of. That you can roll with, just chill and have some kids. Yes, I am falling in love. You need someone that you can spend some time, treat you like vintage wine, one you can't get enough of. I am here for you. That you can roll with, just chill and have some kids. Yes, I am falling in love. Oh
Wow.
Dude. But it's so crazy how that tune right there is so now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not like, like back in the day, you could tell when like something like New Jack Swing came on. It puts you in that era, that time frame.
Yeah. And y'all, and that was like before we was using Pro Tools. I remember like I had a Roland VS 1680. I just worked that in an MPC and had Vaughn and Biscuit. They would come in. I was just like, man, let's get these ideas out. And I'm so on making sure that we capture that moment in time, because no song can be done or duplicated. No moment in time is duplicated.
Right.
So so you catch it there, man. It was so many songs I was listening to. Good.
Ooh.
And I couldn't get it on this particular computer. I wanted to be able to play that. So y'all, later on Chopping It Up with Chook, maybe on the later episodes, I'm gonna remind you all. I'm gonna say, y'all remember this song I was talking about? What episode is this? This is episode 14. This is episode 14. Yes,
wow.
Indeed. So, that was a collabo that you did, that we produced, and you did with Tamika Moore.
Yep.
Yeah. Another DMV's own.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Tamika Moore. If you're out there, I definitely have to get you on the show as well. Yes, indeed. So, Zoe, something else that I'm very, very proud of you, brother, is that you always keep the energy level high year in, year out. Mm-hmm. It's like it doesn't matter if it's a small venue or the largest venue. You always bring it every single time.
That's
I'm
right.
talking about from I'm one of the people that I believe in. I call them gig rules. Mm-hmm. Gig rules. And one of the gig rules I talk about is making sure that you dress apart with whatever you're doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If it's a hip hop gig and they say wear tennis shoes and jeans, then grab some Glass Plus and a washcloth and wipe the white tennis shoes down so you can still be on point. Right. But brother, one thing that you're known for is that every time you perform, man, you be suited like from head to toe, Right. And before you even open your mouth to sing, it automatically has the audience, is intrigued. Like,
right.
Yo, he looks sharp. The band, the gear, the sound looks great before the first song starts.
The door.
Before the first song starts. Right. You know what I'm saying? So can you share what is the importance of that, like the appearance and stuff?
Oh man, it's very important, man. I mean, I feel it's important to me. It's all about how you look.
Gotcha.
You know, if you look professional, you intend to be professional.
Gotcha.
You know, and that's just the way that I like it, man. You know, like today, you know, I have some younger cats playing with me. You know, they come in with the jeans and the hoodie on. That's fine, because it's the era, you know.
Right.
And the whole band be like in jeans. I'm the only one sitting up there with a suit on.
I understand.
You know, and then sometimes I just say, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead with that. You know, we'll go with a t-shirt, but still we look.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
even though they wear the hoodies and stuff like that, but I say do it. I let them do their thing. You know?
Exactly. And you know, and it's really cool. What they call it, staying current.
Yeah.
We ain't trying to be the younger.
Nah.
You know, but you know when they see us, they be like, because you know a lot of them call us Unc now. I was like, Unc. I was like, well, what? Right? You know what I mean? But it's it's their term of endearment, term of respect. So we respect that, and appreciate that. But also, like when we get to doing what we do as in terms in music or what we're doing on stage, we also make sure that we got to stay current. So like we didn't have YouTube University to turn to.
No.
So, us coming up on albums and cassette tapes and all that, CDs and stuff of that nature. But even now, just like, they've listened to us and we've, set a pathway for them, it's also important for us to go on YouTube University and hear what they're being exposed to.
That's right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, my dad always said, he said, you can always grow as long as you stay green. When you get to the point where, like, I learned it all, then you might as well hang it up because there's definitely, more to be learned out here. So what do you have, like, what's coming up, like, directly for you?
What's coming up, like you say, we got the forest, performing-wise. Like, say, tomorrow we're going to be at Sobeys Restaurant and Lounge, and that's in Lanham, Greenbelt, same place.
Gotcha, yeah.
So 8 o'clock, that's free, y'all. Come on through.
Yes, indeed.
We have so much fun, man, when we're doing these shows. If you have a birthday, come on and celebrate it with us.
Yes, indeed.
And on the production side, I have a couple of shows coming up I can just tell you about. I'm doing a big show with Tricky Entertainment. We're doing production for, we have Tamia, and we have, what's his name, Chris Ross, is that his name? I'm saying that? Chris Ross, up and coming, and we have Scooby, Frank Sirius.
Yes, indeed.
and Frank Sirius and Company is going to be performing. And also, I can't think of the brother's name. He's going to be in a lobby.
Well, you gotta that resume there, brother.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a lot of fun doing that, and being able to. This gonna be one of the biggest contracts that we've done in the DMV is over there. They get at least about 6,000-7,000 people in there.
Oh, that's great, brother.
So I want everybody to go over to Tricky Entertainment's website or go to their Facebook page and check out and come on down here and have fun. They have the greatest thing. I do a lot of stuff with them. They do their wine festival. They also do the Summer Breeze during the summer. I have all that production for that.
Got it.
So you need to come there. And then I also recently, within the last week, I acquired production manager for CeCe Peniston.
Yes.
Legendary CeCe Peniston.
Yes, indeed.
We love you, girl, if you're out there listening.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. We got her. So on April 24th, like I mentioned to you about that, she's going to be at the City Winery here in D.C. She sells that out. This is her third installment here. She sells it out. So yeah, I need to come on and get that.
Yes,
so I'm trying
indeed.
to get that, sell that out to the point that we can do more than one show.
Absolutely.
So,
yes, indeed, brother.
So we come on out with that. So that's some of the things we got come up in the near future.
Absolutely. So listen, so on the musical side, so give me 3 songs that have impacted, I know trying to choose 3 songs is difficult, but 3 songs that have impacted your life over the years.
Oh, God. 3 songs. What I could say is when I was coming up and I was singing in school, The Greatest Love of All.
Hey, yes indeed. Yes indeed. I believe that you, right?
That was the very first song that I ever sang on stage.
Really?
I was in, I think I was in the 9th grade.
Wow.
But it's a very interesting story, and when I was in junior high school, I didn't sing or nothing like that in junior high school. I didn't sing, things like that. So I used to go past the choir room all the time and shout out to Miss Porter's.
Oh, yeah,
Miss Porter's.
yeah.
I used to walk past her choir room and say, I want to be in the choir. And she'd look at me. I was a little joke. She'd get away from here.
Right.
I did that all the way through. It's from 7th grade until the 9th grade.
Really?
Just messing with her, right?
Really?
And then one day, I was coming from band practice. I would play saxophone, and nobody know that I play saxophone.
Gotcha.
In junior high school and high school. So, and I walked through one day, and she was just sitting there writing something down. And I said, Miss Porter, I want to be in the choir. She said, look, you've been saying this. Come here. And she pulled me in there, right? And she turned around. From her desk to her piano was right there. So she turned around and started playing. She said, yeah, you better know the words to lift every voice and sing like that. I said,
right.
So she did that, and I just sang a couple of words, the first line, and she just stopped. She said, boy, I should smack you. She said, all these years, you've been saying that, and I just been kind of like blowing you. And then that week, we sat in there for another 15, 20 minutes.
Really?
And she said, can you know this song? And then she was playing Greatest Love of All. She said, I'm going to have you singing that at an assembly next week.
Wow, brother. And you never know. It's the crazy thing is about you never know what seeds are planted in us young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As we, matriculate through life. And it's just like, and that's what's important now, to continue to encourage. That's what this show is for, to encourage those who want to sing, who want to be an entrepreneur, those who want to be into entertainment and all that stuff, and just give them that little push that they need. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Years down the road, I mean, diversifying and, you're doing stuff in different things in music and entertainment, but all are so pivotal and important to the life of every artist that we run across. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, now, Zoe, I wouldn't have you on the show and we don't take a moment to do some kind of impromptu song. You know what I'm saying? So let me see what we got.
Let's see what he come up with. I think I know that chord.
That's it. We going back.
And I remember the time when we first met. We were so young and we didn't know right from wrong. Now that we're older, I got a better understanding why the feelings inside have lasted for so long. Hey, for a long time, I tried to find that word to say how much I really care. I love the way you talk, your smile, girl, even the fragrance in your hair. Girl, when you come around, I can't help but stop and stare. Oh, I never thought I'd see the day when you would hear me say, I'm in love with my best friend. Through all my ups and downs, I'm so glad you are around. I'm in love with my best friend. When I'm down, I can always count on you to turn my frown upside down. Girl, I'm so glad that you are here. When I need someone, you're always near. Girl, I cherish all those times I spent with you. Say, oh, I never thought I'd see the day when you would hear me say, I'm in love with my best friend. Through all my ups and downs, I'm so glad you are around. I'm in love with my best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Never thought I'd see the day when you would hear me say, I'm in love with my best friend. Through all my ups and downs, I'm so glad you are around. I'm in love with my best friend.
Hey,
Brother.
that was the second song we did that we recorded. That's
18,
crazy.
almost 20 years ago.
Right.
Wow. It's amazing. You know what's crazy thing? It's amazing the things that come to that like stick in our hearts and our minds for a lifetime.
Right.
And that time frame was so pivotal for us because we went from literally like being creative in those moments, and then one of my also DC Radio family members, like Michelle Wright. I remember back in the day, she had like the 8101 show.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we would go over there and ended up featuring on that stuff. So so there have been people in partnerships in DC that has always supported. The local artist here. Sometimes we go through the challenge of being from here, being from the DMV, and have the challenge of having, like you said, the promoters and stuff, everybody be on the same page.
Right.
When we were mentioning that earlier, I was just literally sitting up here thinking, I was like, like the breakdown sometimes between the promoters or the artists, and, you know what I'm saying, to level the playing field. I mean, sometimes it's like I'm reaching for the sky, but maybe if like the promoters of like, or the venues, if they had like, it was a one set thing that, you know what I'm saying, that, because what it does is sometimes when and it's unfortunate, but when we come in and low bid another artist, then we're actually fighting against each other before we can even get into the venue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe if it was of course there would be like a prerequisite or requirement. Okay, if you bring this, then it should be this.
Right.
And just keep that consistent so that we can continue to build the bridge in the DMV. There's so much talent here from so many different walks of life all around. And, we want to be able to share these different talents and gifts with you all. Thank goodness for this platform with DC Radio and Choppin It Up with Chook.
Yes,
but we love, first and foremost, I love the DMV.
Yeah.
No
doubt.
There's sometimes there are artists that that leave and
never come back.
Don't never come back. Number one, and then don't rep their city. Number two, you know what I mean. So we want to try to continue to build the togetherness. It's a challenge. Things don't happen overnight, but what do they say? The change has to start somewhere, and the change needs to start with each one of us as individuals. Right. So Zoe, question: so how do they get in contact with you on social media?
Yeah,
and
like you say, right on Facebook, all of it is the same. Lorenzo, Zoe Miller, just go to all those platforms. You can reach me on there, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Zoe Miller on Instagram. Please follow.
Yes,
Follow
indeed.
me.
That's what happened to me.
Look at it. I got that on the CC thing.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so come on down and, follow me, man, and I'll let you know what's happening.
Gotcha.
I put all that stuff on Facebook, Instagram, come on out and just, I was trying to tell, the ladies, they love come out to the shows.
Right.
Brothers.
Right.
Brothers, come on out. Even if you don't like the way I sound, give them somebody to look at.
How about that?
Give them somebody to look at. Just come on out. That's what I said. I love it.
So you hit the nail on the head. So when Lorenzo, Zoe, when you perform, man, the ladies come out from the woodworks and come to the show. Guys, hint, hashtag.
Come on out.
Come on out to the show. Yes, indeed.
Yes,
so Zoe, before we close out, what would you share with artists or entrepreneur or someone that is coming up who wants to do what it is? You're covering three parts of it.
Right.
You're singing, you're an artist, you are, you have an amazing sound company to, and do amazing sound. And then you also have gotten into like the production and being the, production manager for some various artists. What would you tell someone young who's coming up and they want to get involved or?
There's one thing, you just got to persevere, man.
Yes.
Persevere, and you may fall.
Mm-hmm.
You may fail at this thing, and I'm one to tell you that yes, I fell. But you have to keep going. It's a constant grind. If you really believe in what you want to do, and you say, okay, this is what I want to do.
Got it.
I go back into an old movie back at Whoopi Goldberg, when she was playing. She played the nun who.
Sister Act.
Sister Act.
Yeah.
She said, if you wake up in the morning and you think about singing, you need to be a singer.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
If I wake up in the morning and I think about what kind of microphone I'm gonna buy next.
That's right.
You know, I'm sitting there thinking about what I'm gonna wear for the show.
Yeah.
That's what you need to be doing.
That's it.
You know?
That's it.
And I say, you know, just grind out. I see the grind in a lot of people, you know, a lot of people out there, you know, and I see them taking their talents and it goes over into something else.
Absolutely.
Like I'm gonna give my boy Steve, you know Steve Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Give him a shout out.
Yeah.
I just thought about it. I'll give him a shout out. You know, he's a drummer. I've been using young up and kind of. He has his own clothing line.
Yes.
You know, I meant to bring this.
Yeah.
Today, but yeah, you know, people like doing that, and I like to give another shout out to another brother that you actually work with currently. I've met him back in '91. I had done a show. I opened up for an artist called Denise Morgan.
Gotcha.
At Blues Alley. And lo and behold, the person that he was around, he was a young cat back then, Mr. Marcus Johnson.
Oh, absolutely.
Mr. Marcus Johnson didn't make a name for himself back then, but I've seen him grind.
Gotcha.
From the go-go scene.
Yes, indeed.
And come on up and then be able to have his own thing, and it just all has that trickle-down effect. Okay, he went from that to owning his own company, to owning his own wine company.
Yes.
All of it.
Yes. Shout out, big brother Marcus Johnson. You already know, sir. We're supposed to be linking up anyway. And look, and so we're all on the same page. Listen, Zoe, I'm so glad that you were able to come past the studio today. Listen, so I'm going to end off this show with a song we've been talking about the DMV. We talk about Washington, D.C. and the Chocolate City. And there's a song that we did about 20 years ago as well that I found entitled Chocolate City.
Wow.
That me and Zoe literally we sang on and, wrote, and shout out once again to Biscuit and Mr. Higgs. And I want to close out on this song. It's called The Chocolate City. Listen, you all. The mere fact that you had an opportunity to wake up this morning and to be able to experience this day, it is a blessing. So don't take any day for granted. And I want to, just send peace and blessings all of you all's way. This is Antone Chooky Caldwell signing off here on Choppin It Up with Chook with Lorenzo Miller. And this song we're leaving out on is entitled Chocolate City here on DC Radio.
That's what's up.
This song is going out to all my people who keep it real in the city. That's right. The Chocolate City, D.C. The radio stations, our family, all of our friends, and a special shout out to all of you. Most of all, we know that without God, none of this would be possible. The one and only Zoe. Yo.
I would like to take the time to tell just how I feel. Some thought it wouldn't happen. If you want me to be for real, for those who came to the shows to lend a helping hand, with people like you in my life, forever I would stay.
In DC, for DC, DC Radio, 96.3 HD4, and DCRadio.gov.